Hi, my name is Riya Shukla. I am graduating this year in 2025. I'm in the College of Arts and Sciences studying computer science and economics. I'm from California, and so when I first came to Boston my first year, I had to move out during the summer, and I was like, wow, this is a very challenging process. It's incredibly expensive, and obviously with finals and catching my flight and having to move out of a whole dorm, I was like, there has to be an easier solution for this. And I was really inspired by the models of Airbnb and Uber, and I always felt like there was a way to crowdsource this problem. So yeah, I developed the idea of essentially matching students who have empty space in their apartments or their homes, and can open it up to other students who are looking to store for cheaper, much like the Uber and Airbnb model. Yeah, and so it's fully functioning. We operate in about 25 universities in Massachusetts, with customers and hosts from them, and yeah, it's in business. Actually, surprisingly, when I started, I was actually pre-med and I was neuroscience, so it was totally unrelated. And I always felt like I had a little bit of like a business side to me, which is when I first got kind of involved with Innovate. And then after a little bit, I decided to switch because I liked business so much. But I kind of wanted the more technical aspect of it, and so I kind of got into computer science and a little bit with econ. And then I was like, yeah, I like this a lot better than organic chemistry. And so then, I switched and. And then I think computer science really helped me when I was working on the app. I think sometimes just like I'll be walking on the street and there just happens to be a pickup happening right there, and I'll be like, oh my God, hi, like it's so great to meet you. And sometimes like, hosts will have like questions or like something will come up, and so I'll get to meet them via phone call or like text or whatever. And it's just great. Like I think it's created just a really high paying job for our students, which is really nice. Some of our top hosts have made like over $5,000 in one summer. Which is really great because I also struggle with that aspect of like being in college and like wanting to like make a bunch of money but not having a lot of time. And so this is like a really great passive income for people who just like don't want to sublet or have open space in their apartment, just want to store a couple boxes in an empty closet. And we have some people who live in the state, so people who like have basements or garages and they want to fill those up. So I think it's really like on the bright side, helped people save money and help people make money at the same time. The part of this seasonal business is that it always falls during my finals week, obviously because that's when everyone else is moving out. So I think something that was really hard is like most of the time I'm online and I can like text, or I can like, if something goes wrong with the host, I could like figure it out. But during my final exam, I don't have my phone, and just being gone for 2 hours during the final means like 50 people are moving out at that time. So it's like, I think that was really challenging. I think that's the aspect where like having a team would be really great, and I think I'm like going towards that direction now. But I think initially that was really, really hard, balancing school and just like obviously having to do well in my classes and study for finals, but also help like hundreds of people move out every single day. That was hard, but yeah. I think you have to think of things that you really, really care about and just do that all the time, and it's not going to always be correct. Like there are so many times where I've spent a bunch of money and time on marketing, and it's unsuccessful, and you fail. And I think that's part of the journey. And not all of us are like marketing majors or like finance majors, and there's so many things you just have to like figure out as you go, and you do it wrong, and that's okay, and that's normal. I think I didn't really know where to start. Like I knew I just like had an idea that I always like really liked business, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it. So I kind of just would like sit here. Like I would just study here and I would like just work here, and I was like, yeah, like let me see kind of like where this goes. And then, yeah, I think just by being in this environment, you just get involved. Like you attend random events and like you meet random people, and you just kind of become part of this ecosystem really quickly. And I think that was really like what kind of got me into it, and kind of what gave me constant like reassurance and encouragement. I think this process is incredibly lonely, especially as like a solo founder. So I think coming here and just like getting like every time I achieve something or we accomplish something, I'd come here and I'd get like all that encouragement, and like someone would be like, yes, you're doing it right, or like, no, you need to pivot in this direction. I think having something like that really helped me. I kind of started off straight on the innovation pathway. I did the walk, and then I did the run, and then eventually we got to fly. And yeah, I think it was a really like empowering journey. I think also that process forces you to make a pitch deck, to present to people, to get advice, to like collect mentors and get people to constantly guide you along the way. So I think that inadvertently happened, and that was something I really didn't know I needed, but ended up really needing. Like Innovate is just so good at like reaching out to people, and I think even if you just come here and you just like knock on someone's door and you're like, hey, I just want to get started, like I don't know what to do, or you talk to like anyone in this area, even just like the information desk, they can guide you to the right person. And I think that's the really like the best part of it. I think some places are hard to get involved with, or you have to join a club, or you have to like go through an application process, and this is just not one of those places. I think the goal is to go full time. We are profitable and we are making revenue, so I think the goal is to really expand this year. Over the past years, obviously there was a lot of like trial and error with like, for example, incorporating third-party payments and making sure the app works, and like beta versions, and like making sure people's stuff doesn't get stolen and all those things. And like, so I think initially it was hard to like scale before we knew like certain things worked, because you can't just like lose people's things, obviously. So I'm excited to like meet and engage with more hosts, more customers. It's a really fun process. And yeah, and to this day we haven't lost anything, so it's really great.